Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my review of this week's episode of Supernatural on the CW, which is episode 6 of season 13 called Tombstone. So, I like this episode a lot, actually. I'll just get that out of the way. I enjoyed last week's episode as well, and as I say, there's no bad episode of Supernatural. There never is, never has been, and probably never will be. And season 13 so far, I think, as I've said, I am enjoying more than season 12 at this point. This episode, along with the last one, the Missouri Mosley episode, Patience, I think are the three best of the season so far. It was great to have Castiel back in this one. He's been a very missed presence on the show. Although most people within the fandom, I think, knew he was coming back. It elevates the show when he's around. So it's good to have him there. I really liked his scenes with Jack. I like Castiel sort of having that father figure, kind of role, and Misha Collins does really well with that performance-wise. And the actor playing Jack as well is doing pretty good. And this was also more like a case of the week monster type of episode as well, which people actually miss on the show. They don't always like the angels and demons thing. They like just a classic haunting, or in this case a ghoul going around, and it's taken the form of an old outlaw. Dean's a big fan of westerns, old gunslingers and everything. It's one he recognizes, so it has like a western vibe type of thing to it. They're in like Dodge City, Texas or something. You can see Castiel wear a cowboy hat, so that's awesome. And there's also a couple other funny moments in this episode, like with when Jack's actually piecing some of the case together himself and looking at traffic cams and everything, which I think is good that he's adapting like that. He tries to wake up Dean in the middle of the night, and Castiel warns him, I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? And then when he keeps tapping Dean finally wakes up, and he has his gun ready, and he's just ready. He's like, aha! It was Jensen Ackles, the way he reacted, and I don't know, it just made I laughed out loud, and that was great. And you have Dean, who's actually in a better mood now that they have Cass back. He needed a big win, and having his best friend back is definitely that for him. So I really like that, and I like that, of course, Dean and Cass were working on the case together. And you have Jack, like I said, figuring things out about himself, which is good, although he's still awkward on the scene, asking questions at the very wrong times and not really naturally. The ghoul ends up robbing a bank because he wants to get out of town with his girlfriend, but she ends up not really siding with him, of course, eventually when she figures out what he's doing. And then Jack, he ends up using his power to try and stop him, but in the meantime he actually ends up injuring and killing one of the security guards there, an innocent guy, which is unfortunate. And because of this, it has this huge weight on himself. Dean, Cass, and others try to tell him they all have blood on their hands, guilt, everything like that. They've all done things they regret, which they definitely have. But Jax now has it in his head that, oh, maybe I'm the monster that you thought I was, even though Dean tries to reassure him otherwise, which is good that Dean's finally come around to Jack being a force of good. And I don't think Jack's going to turn into a villain now. I just think he needs to find his own way and his own reasons, perhaps. So I think it's going to be that kind of story. But I still think he'll step up and help them out when they need it. But we'll see where it goes. Overall, I thought this was a good episode. It's not my favorite Ghoul episode. There was a Ghoul episode quite a few seasons ago that I liked a lot. I think it was actually in season 4 or something like that. But still, definitely good, and definitely really helped that Cass is back, and because of that, I'm giving this episode 9.2 or 9.3 out of 10. Because when Supernatural is on, even with a Monster of the Week episode like this, when it's on, it's on. So, I know this is a quick review, so if there's anything else about it you want to talk about, feel free, and we can talk about it more. I love Supernatural, poster. I have a whole little shelf dedicated to it right here. I'm also wearing Dean's necklace, which is great. A replica of it anyway. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this episode and this review. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.